Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is going to be about starting your healthy hair journey and how to maintain healthy relaxed hair. I know there are plenty of relaxed hair videos out there. This is just what I do and what I recommend. I have a feeling this video is going to be pretty lengthy, even though I hate long videos. I'm going to try to keep it as short and sweet as possible, but I'm also going to help you guys out by putting in the description box the places in the video where I talk about certain things, so you can just fast forward through the video to what you want to watch or what you also, this video is going to be the starting video to a question and answer video that I plan on doing a little later. In previous videos, people have asked questions that sometimes require a long response or just too much that I'm willing to write under the box. So I'm gonna have a question and answer video. So under this video, if you have any additional questions or anything that you want to know that I'm not explaining thoroughly enough in this video, or if you want to just know a little bit more, ask the question under this video, and I'm going to make a question and answer video following this to answer some of the questions. Okay. So the first step to maintaining and growing healthy, relaxed hair, I cannot stress this enough. The number one step is stretching your relaxers. Since the beginning of time, when I used to get relaxers as a young girl, I used to relax my hair every 4 to 6 weeks because that's what the box said, that's what everyone said to do, that's what my mom did, 4 to 6 weeks. Now, in 2016, Black women have been learning more about themselves and about their bodies and about their hair care, and just from all the knowledge that we've gained and that I've gained personally for myself, I'm realizing that 4 to 6 weeks was entirely too much. Entirely too much. Our hair wasn't growing, it was breaking, it was thin. Like, we were relaxing our hair entirely too much. So stretching out your relaxers is a major component to growing healthy, relaxed hair and maintaining it. You should be relaxing your hair every 12 to 14 weeks. 8 weeks minimum, like minimum, but like I would never relax my hair less than 12 weeks apart. You know, we all know that the relaxer actually breaks down the protein bonds in your hair. So when you're relaxing very often and you're overlapping those relaxers, you're basically eating away at your hair. So I stretch my relaxers out every 12 to 14 weeks. Sometimes I'll go 15. 16 is the longest I'll do, because actually stretching your relaxer too much can also cause damage. Some people say that they get relaxers once a year. I don't know how they do that. If you do that and that works for you, that's great. But what I've noticed for me is that if I stretch my relaxer too long, it's almost like I am transitioning to be natural. And so that natural hair and that relaxed hair doesn't mix and it starts to break. So I know that like 15, 16 is like the longest I can go before I need to get a relaxer, because I'm actually doing more damage to my hair than anything. But do what works for you. I'm just saying, from my personal experience, stretching my relaxer too much is a problem for me. Also, a lot of people, you know, they don't know how to maintain their hair when their new growth becomes a little too much to handle. That's why you learn your hair and you learn what your hair likes and what your hair needs. Stretching your relaxer more often will help you learn how to actually manage your new growth. So now I know how to moisturize my new growth and how to deep condition my hair to where my new growth is manageable, so that it's not just like, oh my God, I need a perm right now. You know, so, you know, the more you stretch your relaxer out, the longer you can stretch it and maintain it. So just keep that in mind. Stretching your relaxer is number one. Part 1B of maintaining healthy, relaxed hair is Texlaxing, or if you don't know what Texlaxing is, it is really just under processing your hair. So you put the relaxer on, you just don't let it sit as long as the box or the instructions say. You kind of like put it on there, make sure it processes a little bit, and then rinse it out. You don't let it process the entire time. This is so that you can maintain some texture in your hair and so that it's not bone straight when you relax it. Texlaxing kind of helps keeps you from over processing your hair. So just like we were relaxing our hair every 6 to 8 weeks and then we were relaxing it bone straight, like no wonder we was walking around here bald head. Like what? That was just entirely too much. So stretching out your relaxer and not leaving the relaxer on as long as people have normally done. I really don't time how long I put my relaxers in. I kind of just put it in and like smooth it out real quick and wash it out, but I don't like walk around and let it sit in my hair and process. Like I put it in and I take it out. I have a video on how I apply my relaxer. I'm gonna post it somewhere up here for you to see if you'd like to take a look at that. So number 2 is finding products that work best for you and your hair. The products that we use in our hair are very, very important to the growth and maintenance of our hair. You need to be looking at the ingredients of everything that you put in your hair. Things that have petroleum, mineral oil, sulfates, alcohols, those are very damaging to your hair. Me personally, I like to use products that are a little bit more natural, especially when it comes to my deep conditioners. If you're using a deep conditioner that has mineral oil or petroleum in it, I'm telling you right now, you are wasting your money. It is not absorbing into your hair at all. It is sitting on top of your hair, and when you rinse it out, it's creating a thick film over your hair, so you feel like it's soft and it's moisturized, but it's not. I promise you. Your deep conditioners do not need to have any petroleum or mineral oil in them at all. Also, a lot of the products that you use, whether it is a shampoo, a conditioner, a deep conditioner, a moisturizer, it needs to have water as the first ingredient. Normally they list the ingredients in the order of how much is in the products. It's going to be trial and error, especially learning how to take care of your hair. The most important thing about starting a hair care journey is learning your hair and learning what works for your hair and what does not work for your hair. And with products, you know, you can tell normally by the first use whether it works for you or not. Also, and I'm gonna say this really loosely, so don't like hold me to this because I don't want to offend anybody or anything, but what I have learned from experience is that a lot of the products in these ethnic sections, or the products that are catered toward African Americans or African American hair, or like have like, you know, the black hairstyles on the front of the box, those tend to be some of the worst products for black hair. The things like African Pride and Dr. Miracle, and I'm just gonna speak for me, you know what I'm saying, those products have not worked for me at all. Like the Blue Magic and like the hair growth grease, and those are not good products for your hair, or for my hair. They're not good products for my hair. They have not worked for me. And I've noticed that a lot of the products that are just like screaming like black people, buy me, this is for black hair, it doesn't really work. The best products for black hair that I've used are like Shea Moisture, and Cantu is okay. I really don't like Cantu, but like, I mean, you really have to gauge these products and make a decision for yourself. Make sure you're reading the ingredient labels and not just reading what the product has to offer, you know, like not just reading the front of the product, because they're going to tell you anything to get you to buy it. You really have to read the ingredients and then try the product for yourself and make a decision on whether it works for you or not. So I'm not talking badly about any of these products. If you use them religiously and they work for you, girl, go ahead. I'm just saying that for me, they have not worked. The third step, which is also very, very important, all of these steps are important, but trimming your ends. People have asked me a lot of questions about how often do I trim my ends, how often should you trim your ends. Someone told me to trim them twice a year. Somebody told me 4 or 5 times a year. Someone told me every time I get a relaxer or every time the season changes. This is what I'm going to tell you. It is important to trim your ends. Split ends do not mend, they do not regrow. You have to cut them if they are damaged. Okay, so I cut my hair, or I trim my ends as often as I need to, which is normally twice a year because I like to maintain my ends. So I will trim my ends twice a year, like a really good trim. Like if I go to the salon and actually get a really good trim, that's like 6 months. In between those 6 months, I either trim my ends myself or I will do the search and destroy method where I'll kind of like look and see if I have any straggly ends and I'll snip them as necessary. But if you are maintaining your ends and deep conditioning your hair and moisturizing your hair as necessary, you should not have to trim your hair more than twice a year. Trimming your hair 4 times a year or every season is a bit much to me because it seems like as your hair is growing, you're trimming. So it's like grow, trim, and you're not really retaining any type of length. So for me, I trim twice a year. But like I said, you need to trim as often as necessary, as often as you need to for your hair. If you see that your ends are breaking or they are split, you need to cut them. Also, there is no such thing as mending split ends. If you are going to an expensive hairstylist and she says she has this magical product that mends your split ends, she is lying, okay? And she is ripping you off and you are paying for nothing. There's no such thing as mending your split ends. Once they are split, they are dead. You have to let them go. That is the only way your hair is going to continue to grow and not continue to split. So trimming your ends is very important. You should trim your ends as often as you feel is necessary. And also don't be afraid to experiment with your hair yourself. If you don't trust your hairstylist, or if you feel like your hairstylist is very scissor happy and she just wants to cut your ends every chance she gets, then, you know, fall back a little bit and start doing your hair yourself and exploring your hair yourself and doing what you feel like is best for your hair. Because I don't go to the hair salon like that. If I do go to the hair salon, I go to the Dominicans in Atlanta and I have them trim my ends twice a year. That's it. All the other times throughout the year, I'm doing my hair myself because I don't trust anyone else in my head really, and I feel like I know my hair better than anyone else. Also, if you don't want to trim your ends as often, you need to maintain your ends, which brings us to the fourth step, moisturizing and sealing your hair. Moisturizing and sealing the ends of your hair keeps them moisturized and keeps them from breaking. The ends of our hair are the oldest parts of our hair. They have been on our head the longest, so they are very susceptible to breakage and drying and getting split ends. So moisturizing and sealing your ends really helps maintain them and helps you retain length so that your hair can continue to grow. I have a video where I show you guys how I moisturize and seal. You can watch that if you like any type of additional tips or like an in-depth like tutorial on how I do it. But that is how I'm able to trim my ends twice a year, because that's really all I need, because I'm maintaining my ends throughout the year, so I don't have to trim them as often. So the fifth step to growing and maintaining relaxed hair is deep conditioning. Everybody knows this. You know what deep conditioning is. You know how important it is. It's important for natural hair, and it is very important for relaxed hair because we are stripping our hair of a lot of things when we relax it. So deep conditioning is very, very important. And I alternate between moisturizing conditioners and protein conditioners. As you start your hair journey and as you learn your hair, and what it likes and what it doesn't like, you will be able to feel what your hair needs. Your hair will talk to you. It will be your best friend, and it will tell you what it needs and what it is deprived of. If my hair is super, super dry or brittle or stiff, and I feel like it's breaking and it's getting kind of hard to comb through and it's just looking real stiff, I know that I need a moisturizing deep conditioner. On the flip side, if my hair is really soft and like mushy and is really limp and not really holding a curl, I know that my hair is too moisturized and I need a protein deep conditioner to balance that out. I deep condition my hair every week. And sometimes if I get a little lazy or a little busy, I'll deep condition it every time I wash it. You need to deep condition your hair every single time you wash it. Sometimes like the conditioners that come with the shampoo, I really just use those, you know, I'll wash my hair, then I'll condition it with the conditioner, but then I'll follow it up with a deep conditioner. I deep condition my hair every time I wash it, and I sit under the dryer every single time. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it's a little time consuming, but you know, taking care of relaxed hair is just as much as taking care of natural hair. Like, you have to take care of your hair. Your hair can grow whether it is relaxed or natural. You just have to take care of it. So deep conditioning your hair is very important. I have a video on my top 5 conditioners that I really like to use. So you can look at that for a reference if you like. I think my whole beauty cabinet is deep conditioners. Like, I may have 1 or 2 shampoos because I'm not really big on shampoo. Like, I really don't care what's in it. I mean, I care what's in it, but I really don't care what kind of shampoo I use because, you know, I just know I'm going to follow it up with a deep conditioner. So deep conditioning is a major part of the hair care process because you have to put those nutrients back into your hair, especially especially after you relax your hair, you know. The 6th step is a very important one for anybody who wants to maintain any type of hair. Avoid using heat. Now, I know we love heat. You know, we love to curl, we love to flat iron, like, we love heat. But keeping heat off of your hair can really help you avoid heat damage. There is no coming back from heat damage. Just like split ends, once your hair is damaged from heat, it is damaged. The only way to fix it is to cut it off. That is the only way. And we have to pay special attention with our relaxed hair because you can't tell as easily. You can't identify heat damage as easily with relaxed hair like you can with natural hair. With natural hair, you know, you can kind of tell in the curl pattern and in the texture of the hair that, you know, that part is heat damage. But with relaxed hair, since you know, our hair is a little bit straighter, it's kind of difficult to see the heat damage right off the bat. One way to identify heat damage is if you notice your hair getting a little thin, like in between the strands. So like, you know, say you have like a thick patch of hair like this, but in the middle, like right here, it's kind of like thin, or it's kind of like breaking off a little bit. That's heat damage. The best way to tell a heat damage is by Texlaxing your hair, because when you Texlax it, you're leaving a little bit of texture in the hair. You're not making it bone straight, so you can see it. Like when your hair is wet, you can see the heat damage, kind of similar to if you were natural. You can kind of see the difference in the texture when your hair is wet. But I only flat iron my hair once every wash cycle, and I also blow dry my hair after I have air dried. So I don't like to blow dry my hair while my hair is wet because I feel like it requires more heat to dry my hair. And I just don't like using that much heat on my hair. So what I'll do is I'll wash my hair, condition it, deep condition it, and then I'll detangle it and let my hair air dry. After it's air dried, then I will use the blow dryer to kind of just straighten it out a little bit before I flat iron it. And I realized that I don't have to use as much heat to, you know, get my hair straight because it's already been air dried. Then when I flat iron my hair, I only flat iron it once. So like, you know how some people take the flat iron and they're just like going over it and over it. I do not do that. I run that flat iron through it one time and that is it. Just because I just don't like putting a lot of heat on my hair. Also, at the end of the week, you know, if my hair is a little limp or, you know, it's not giving me the life that I need, I'm just going to wash it again. I'm not going to flat iron it again. Like, I will not flat iron dirty hair. So I realized that has really helped for me. And this kind of brings us into our next step. You know, to help keep the heat off of your hair, you need protective styles. So wearing protective styles can really help you keep the heat off of your hair and help you keep your hands out of your hair to give your hair a chance to actually grow. My favorite protective style is a braid out. Like, I really love braid outs because you can make braid outs really cute and they last a long time. And normally when I do a braid out, like that whole week, I'm like moisturizing and, you know, putting all the oils in my hair, and like I really feel like I'm pampering my hair. Braid outs are really good. I do buns a lot to protect the ends of my hair. So, you know, if it's getting to the end of the week and I don't feel like flat ironing it, I'll put it up in a bun to protect my ends. My all-time favorite protective style is weave. I really, really love weave. I really love sew-ins. People ask me all the time, like, why do you wear weave? Like, you have long hair. I don't see a point. I wear weave because, one, I like to wear weave, and two, it is a very, very good protective style for my hair. I can braid it up with the sewing in and, you know, not touch my hair for a while. And it's also a good tracking, it's also a good way to track your hair growth. So I like wearing sew-ins. You know, I normally don't have to do anything to my hair for like a month. So those are like my favorite protective styles. So the last and final step to this hair journey and maintaining your hair is to be patient. You have to be patient with your hair and your growth process and just learning your hair as a, you know, just as a person. Everyone's hair is different. What works for me may not necessarily work for you, and what works for somebody else may not necessarily work for you. You have to learn your hair and you have to learn what your hair needs. It is a journey. It is a process. It's going to take some time. The way I started my hair journey was really by accident. I asked someone to trim my hair one day, and like they like chopped half my hair off. And I was so mad that they chopped my hair off, but I kind of just looked at it as an opportunity to, like, I'm going to grow my hair back. And so, you know, I started, you know, I really got on YouTube. YouTube taught me everything I know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know why I'm on here telling my story. YouTube taught me everything I know. People like Pretty Witty. I see You Love Megs. Like a lot of these relaxed hair girls, like they kind of taught me everything I know. Actually, I really started with the Glam Twins. I used to watch the Glam Twins all the time. I watched them ever since they were washing their hair in their sink, in the kitchen sink. And I know that they're natural, but I used a lot of their techniques on my relaxed hair, like washing just the new growth, like washing just your scalp and then letting the shampoo run down your hair, and like their deep conditioning methods. Like I took a lot from the Glam Twins, so I owe them a lot. But YouTube, the answers are on YouTube, you know, and I'm just here to kind of share my story and share how I started. Do y'all see that lint? What in the world? Okay. But yes, you have to be patient with your hair and you have to experiment. It's going to be a trial and error type thing. Not everything that Pretty Witty did worked for me. Not everything that You Love Megs did work for me. Not everything that the Glam Twins did worked for me. So I had to kind of find my own regimen and find what worked for me. and that's how I've reached, you know, my goals. I haven't measured my hair since July. In July, it was like 18 inches. I haven't measured it in a while. The last time I tried to get a sew-in, I bought like 20-inch hair, and I promised I would never go over 20 inches, go longer than that, because I don't know, like, it just wasn't me. I wasn't gonna walk around here with like 28-inch hair. But the last time I got a sew-in and got 20 inches, my hair was like longer than the 20 inches. So I had to go up to 22. So I haven't measured my hair since July. If I had to gauge it, I would say it's around 20, 21, which makes sense because it's now March. So I'm sure it's grown 2 or 3 inches since July. My goal is to get to waist length. Right now, like, I'm past mid back length, like I'm past bra strap length. I want to get to waist length. So like when my hair is like touching my hips, that's probably when like I may like cut it and start all over, or I may go natural. I don't know. It's still up in the air. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave your questions below that you want me to answer, and I'll answer some of them in the comment box, but you know, the ones that require a longer response, I'm definitely going to make a question and answer video. I really hope that this helped you guys. You know, people have just been, you know, asking me what I do, and I feel like it was just better to make a video about it. So yes, just leave all your feedback, questions, comments, concerns down below, and I will see you guys next time.